טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה פה, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה פה, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, 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 שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב מנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Excuse me, everyone. Are you there? Okay. Sorry, I have a lot of congestion. We have allergy season right now, and I'm really suffering through allergies. So I'm just going to do a quick Havdalah. And the sound is loud and clear, but strange. Yeah, probably because of my allergies. I have allergies. And they're pretty bad this season. Bear with me. I'm just going to do a quick Havdalah and call it a night. Or if you want to talk about anything, that's great. But I'm not going to be doing a lot of requests tonight. Yeah, big thunderstorms too. The weather is just really terrible. Yeah, the pollen is awful. It's awful. So I'm like kind of struggling through this. So I'm just going to do a quick Havdalah and wish you all Shavua Tov. Catch up a little bit about my trip maybe. I took a trip to the Bob Dylan Center and the Woody Guthrie Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Church studio. It's terrible. The allergy season is just terrible. So, you walked by Stephen Wise. That's cool. You should have dropped by and said hello. Yeah, we'll make a joyful noise. That's what we'll do, Joseph. It all sounds like harmony in heaven. So, sing along with me. I'm sorry I can't hear you, but I'm glad you all can hear me. So I'm going to load up Havdalah real quick. Let me try this here with you. Here we go. Load this up. Here we go. הנה אל ישמות יפתח ולא אפחד, כי עוזי וזמרת יה אדוני ויהי לי לישועה. שבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה, שבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה, מים 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 בששון, מים 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 בששון, היי היי מים 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 בששון, מים 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 בששון. Sing along, everybody. שבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה, שבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה, מים 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 בששון, מים 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 בששון, היי 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 מים 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 בששון, מים 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 בששון. לאדוני ישועה לעמך ברכתך סלע, אדוני צבאות עמנו משכב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלע, אדוני צבאות אשרי אדם מותח בה, אדוני הושיע מלך יעננו ביום קורנו. ליהודים הייתה אורה, הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר.
Okay. V'shem Adonai Yekra. We'll break out our stuff. If you have stuff at home, break it out. The Havdalah stuff, the spices, the wine, the candle. Bring it out. Bring out your light. Bring out your wine. La 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 Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המבדיל בין קודש לחול, המבדיל בין קודש לחול, בין אור Baruch atah Adonai, hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. We take the candle and we put it out into the wine. We listen for the sound. And we continue. Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, chatoteinu imcho. Yizarenu v'chospenu, yarbek v'kol v'akochavim. Balayla, Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishti, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Agiladi. Bimhera v'yamenu yavo eleinu im Mashiach ben David, im Mashiach ben David. Miriam Hanaviyah was v'zimra v'yadam. Miriam tirkod itanu v'hagdil zimrat olam. Miriam tirkod itanu v'takedet ha'olam. Bimhera v'yamenu hitaviyenu el mea Yeshua, el mea Yeshua. Miriam Hanaviyah was v'zimra v'yadam. Miriam tirkod itanu v'hagdil zimrat olam. Miriam tirkod itanu v'takedet ha'olam. Shavua tov, you have a good week. May you find the happiness you seek. Shavua tov, may your week be fine. May it be as sweet as a Sabbath wine. Shavua tov. Okay, Shavua tov, everybody. As I said before, I'm kind of suffering through allergies. So, the guitar is distorted a bit. I see. Well, I have the original sound on. It's probably this microphone. Maybe if I unplug the microphone. It's the position of the microphone, probably. That's probably it. Ema, as I said before, I'm suffering through allergies right now, so I'm not going to make this a big sing-along session tonight. Rather than that, I just want to catch up on what I did. The guitar's allergies, that's right. The sound is so loud it's distorting, hence the guitar's allergies. So, okay. So by Mirabis Duchesne. All right. Layla got me on my knees, Layla. Yeah, pollen is terrible. It's really terrible. Worst levels ever. Yeah, it's really terrible. So, I'll humor you with a couple by Mirabis Duchesne and Erev Shoshanim, and then I'll call it a night. By Mirabis Duchesne, in a nice low key for me. And for you. I think most people like singing in low keys. All right. By Mirabis Duchesne. Lyrics. All right. Here we go, friends. Feel free to whatever your choice is, whatever you prefer, of all the girls or boys or whoever, whomever, of all the girls I know, never known some. The little bit met you, I was lonesome. But then you came inside, dear, my heart grew light. This old world seemed new to me. You're really swell, I've had to admit you deserve expressions that really fit you. And then I racked my brain hoping to explain all the things that you didn't be. My dear Mr. Shane, please let me explain. My dear Mr. Shane means that you're grand. By mere Mr. Shane, again I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even sehr wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. I've tried to explain my dear Mr. Shane, so please me and say you'll understand. By mere Mr. Shane, please let me explain. By mere Mr. Shane means that you're grand. By mere Mr. Shane, again I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even sehr wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. I've tried to explain. My dear Mr. Shane, so kiss me and say you'll understand. So kiss me and say you'll understand. So kiss me and say you'll understand. Here you go. For Lev, by mere Mr. Shane. With a little added phlegm, just for that extra touch. Yeah, some raining and lightning, Jerry. Sorry for that. Boynton Beach had a small tornado. Oof. Formed with Dan Zanes and his wife Claudia out in Brookfield. Oh, Brookville, Long Island. That's really cool. Sorry for the distortion on the guitar. Hopefully it's better without this special microphone I have. It's too special. The microphone is too special. Tampa Bay Lightning. That's funny. All right. Erev Shoshanim. I sound great, though, yeah. I can tell. Those who know. Yeah, it's terrible allergies. So, Erev Shoshanim. I did that last night, Mom. Erev Shoshanim. Why are you asking for it again? I did it at the beginning of the service. It still gets in your eyes. I like lower keys, yeah. I'm definitely on the low side. Yeah, it's just allergies. It'll be come and gone. I'm taking a lot of pills and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty awful. Anyway, a little bit about my trip last week. Some people are curious about my trip to Tulsa. I had a concert in Tulsa with cantorial colleagues on Sunday, but I decided to take the whole Shabbat off because the Bob Dylan and Woody Guthrie centers are open until Saturday. They're open like Wednesday through Saturday. So they're not open on Monday. So it wouldn't have helped if I just went there until Monday and came back to work. So since there was no bar mitzvah last week, I took the weekend off and I got to enjoy Tulsa. Not only the Bob Dylan and Woody Guthrie centers, but also a lot of Tulsa. And what's amazing about Tulsa is they have all these little scooters that you can ride around on with your phone. You just like hook it up to your phone and you get these electric scooters. You can tool all over Tulsa with them. It's pretty cool. Hey, Em. So I got to see quite a bit of Tulsa. The Outsiders Museum, which is a house where they filmed The Outsiders, where there was, I happened to run into Pippi Longstocking
the actress who played Pippi Longstocking in the 1980s or whatever. And she was there, and I got photos with her. Tammy Aaron is her name, I think, the actress. Anyway, uh, Joseph Sticken says, I heard a great song by Ween called Israel. It's just Jewish bears over guitar, saxophone, and flute. Sounds cool. I'll check it out. So share a link with us, Joseph. Um, so anyway, what was cool about the Bob Dylan Center, which was the main reason I was there, and Woody Guthrie too. I think I've talked about this before. My middle name is Adam. My wife's middle name is Eve. We were meant to be married to one another, not only for our names, but also because I'm related to Bob Dylan through my dad's side, through the blood, through Superior, the family there is Superior, the Karens, the Caners, all that stuff. And my wife is related to Woody Guthrie by marriage. Her first cousin, 3 times removed, was Woody's first cousin, and she shared an incredible story about him. And I shared it with the Guthrie Center as well, and I got also befriended several people at the Guthrie Center, which was really cool. And I stumped even the head archivist at the Woody Guthrie, sorry, at the Bob Dylan Center, when I was talking about John Hammond's family, and he didn't know, and most everyone don't know that the guy who signed him to Columbia Records, his grandfather built the town that his mother's family immigrated to, and they were totally blown away. They didn't hear about that before. Nobody had ever brought that up before. So, and he said that if I was to apply for a research opportunity there, that I could do that, and he thinks it would go well. The one thing that they like to avoid there is religion. But this is less religion and more cultural and more genealogical. So it was very promising to meet the head of the archives there. And also got to meet an amazing author of The Gift, Lewis Hyde. I didn't realize that he was going to be in town, and he happened to be lecturing the very night that I came into town. And I was given the gift of The Gift by another co-founder of the center, who is another author who's writing about Bob Dylan and John Lennon. He's writing a book about them. And it was kind of cool to be able to connect with him. He's from Minnesota, John Donnelly, and he's researching John Lennon and Bob Dylan. And then to also connect with Lewis Hyde, the author of The Gift, that famous book that came out in the 80s. And he got to sign it in memory of my dad, because I thought my dad would have really, really loved this. And it's about creativity. The whole second floor of the Bob Dylan Museum is about finding your own creativity. And it's so inspiring. It makes me want to write more. It makes me want to create more. It makes me want to do art. It makes me want to do more compositions, more creativity, more creative thinking, more creative work. And so all that's what downtown Tulsa is all about. And it's all thanks to, really, it's the Kaiser Family Foundation, the Kaiser family of Kaiser Health and Kaiser everything. It's a billionaire family foundation, and they very quickly bought up the archives of Woody Guthrie first, and they brought that down, made that into a center in, I think, 2013 or so. And then almost 10 years later, they did the same thing with Bob Dylan's music. Harry Belafonte sing Lila, Lila. Lila, Lila. Did Harry Belafonte sing Lila, Lila? I think he said Erev Shoshanim, he did that, I think. Anyway, sorry, Mom. Anyway, I was sharing this story. It's kind of cool, though. Anyway, so I connected with all these different people who are co-founders of the place, and it was cool. It was very cool. And at breakfast, there was a serendipitous kind of like a conversation I had with these people visiting from North Carolina, these couple of guys, and I was telling them I'm a cantor in New York City, and we're sitting at breakfast at the hotel, and I'm just telling them I'm having my coffee, and we're talking about. They asked me what I do, and I said I'm a cantor. I'm in New York City, blah blah blah. And soon thereafter, I hear in this thick Israeli accent, I hear Shabbat Shalom, and I was like, Mapitom, Shabbat Shalom. And it turns out there was a guy sitting within earshot who happened to be visiting Tulsa, who happens to be Israeli, who happens to now live in New York. But he's from a tiny town that's only 5 minutes away from my mother's kibbutz. It's called Hadera. The town is called Hadera. And he just happened to be there. He knows our kibbutz very well. And it's kind of a cool story. So we connected. He's in tech and he's thinking about moving there. So anyway, it was a very cool serendipitous kind of meeting. And so I thought it was all meant to be. Also, the first day that I was there was a sign on the wall that was dedicated to Dave Engel. And if you know who Dave Engel is, if you've been following what I've talked about, Dave Engel is the guy who wrote Just Like Bob Zimmerman's Blues, which was the book that my father researched the year before he died. It was published, came out in 1997, and so yes, Hine Matov is on YouTube. So Just Like Bob Zimmerman's Blues came out in 1997, and then Bob Dylan made his first visit to Duluth in 1998, and it was just a few months after our father passed. But so you never got to see him live in Duluth or anything, but I'm sure he would have been very excited to have been there. But while I was there at the center, at the Bob Dylan Center, there's this wall where anyone can write what they want onto the wall, and they erase it almost every day. There's kids that come in, groups and whatnot that come in, and they write all kinds of stuff and draw pictures and things like that. And so they're always having to erase the things that are on the wall. But I happened to come in on a day when there was one inscription there, and it was dedicated to Dave Engel, our father's friend who wrote Bob Zimmerman's Blues, Just Like Bob Zimmerman's Blues. And I was just like dumbfounded that man of all people his name was written on the wall. And apparently his son's name is Dylan, named after Bob Dylan, 1982. And that's what the note said anyway. And so I wrote a note up there, dedicated him from the Singer family of Superior, and also on behalf of Louis Kemp, his Bob's old friend from Duluth. Anyway, so that's kind of like the serendipitous sorts of encounters I had there, and just getting that book, The Gift, from this author who's one of the co-founders of the center, was really, really cool. And to be able to meet the author and have him dedicate it in Dad's memory, it was very, very cool. And yeah, just a very cool trip. And then seeing everything else in Tulsa, basically everything else I could possibly want to see. Those are syncs. That's right. That's exactly right. We were totally in sync. It's just amazing. And so, yeah, that's kind of the funnest part of the trip. Aside from being able to sing with amazing colleagues, being able to have great, food and be able to make great music, being able to reunite with my buddy Jay O'Brien. Those who were back in the glory days of Stephen Wise, when we had Jay O'Brien as our first cantorial intern, will remember his voice and my voice together singing a lot of stuff. But we loved the harmonies of Simon and Garfunkel, so we revived those. The Oseh Shalom to the tune of Sound of Silence, Sound of Shabbos, we call it, and also we sang Michamocha, like a bridge over troubled waters, which was a request actually from our rabbi, from Rabbi Hirsch. Ami was the one who had suggested it, and it actually worked quite perfectly. Yeah, I love Jay too, Victoria. And it was so fun to reunite with him there at that concert. And they were looking for men, and I said, well, let's try Jay. And it worked out, couldn't have worked out more perfectly. So, all in all, was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I do hope to return back to Tulsa to do more research related to. I will put that application in, and I want to be creative, and I feel like these meetings with all these people and the book, the gift, all and the lecture that he gave, the author Lewis Hyde, all of that were signs to me that I need to be more creative and need to produce more creative work. So, yeah, that was my weekend last weekend. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, it was an amazing trip, and thanks for listening to my story. You can feel free to chat amongst yourselves here, and tell of your own weekend or your own week gone by. But I'm probably gonna sign off now, just because I kind of want to rest. And thank you very much. Yeah, I already feel better actually. Just doing this, I feel better. This praying and doing this with you makes me feel better. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Okay. So Shavua Tov. May you have a good week. May you find the happiness that you seek. Shavua Tov. May your week be fine. May it be a sweet